I sit in my chair and turn on the microphone. I click on record because now it's time to do a show. You're listening to Uncle Bobby Radio. Comedy on Uncle Bobby Radio. Funny talking news, songs and or parodies. Sit down and relax, eat yourself some crackers and cheese. You're listening to Uncle Bobby Radio. Comedy on Uncle Bobby Radio. I want to say hello to you. Just write it down in the chat below. You know you can even call me too. Just go to Skype, search Uncle Bobby Radio.
Uncle Bobby Radio, playing all things funny. Right, Joe?
I already told you, Bobby. I refuse to prostitute myself out on this pre-roll.
Uncle Bobby Radio is for adults only. If you are a kid, do not listen.
Live from the Uncle Bobby Radio Newsroom, this is What's News.
Alright, welcome to Uncle Bobby Radio. We're in the newsroom. We are your reporters, Joe Seeker and Uncle Bobby. Isn't that right, buddy?
I'm not a reporter, I'm an anchor.
Oh, well, you're an anchor and I'm the reporter then. I'm the one that's got to go out in the field and stand out in the rainstorm and shit and report the goddamn weather.
You're the weather girl.
I'm the weather girl? That's not a bad gig, though. I bet you they make more money
I'm Ron Burgundy, and you're the blonde chick that I banged.
Well, hey, that's all right, because I have a funny feeling that a news girl gets paid probably 3 times more than a carny. I guarantee it.
Oh, they probably make more than that.
Yep, probably. They bring in that cash, buddy. Cha-ching.
Wow, you don't hear many people use a digital cash register for that sound effect.
What do you mean?
That's a digital cash register you keep hitting there.
Well, first off, it's the goddamn 2012. Welcome to the future.
Well, it just don't have the same effect as like cha-ching.
Oh, we gotta upgrade, buddy. You gotta upgrade, you know?
Upgrade.
It doesn't make sense to use the rotary phone sounds, the ringing anymore. It's all digital now. You know?
Telephones are ringing. Well, we might as well, before we get into the news, Bob, we might as well address something today.
All right.
Okay, so, and I want to make this clear for anybody who might happen to listen to this show. Is you always make fun of me of being an ogre.
I'm an ogre.
and noise and stuff on each other's show. And I acknowledge that shit happens, and I've, forgotten to mute my mic and have had company show up, and that stuff happens. And, and I had that headset that was noisy and everything, and I do torment you with the Frito bag and stuff. But
do you have that today? Do you have that today?
No, I don't. I don't have that tonight.
Okay.
Debbie keeps throwing them out on me. Anyway.
Good Debbie. Go ahead.
I got no fucking patience for fucking the same fucking thing over and over.
Are you going to explain? Because we weren't on air.
Well, we're not going to get into names, but okay, there's one person that we conversed with on Skype. I used to talk with them quite a bit on Skype, but not so much anymore. Anyway, from the time we've met this person, it's he's got more of a setup than anybody's got for computers and microphones and fucking headphones and fucking iPads and iPhones and everything to do and broadcast and everything off of. But yet, every time he calls somebody, he insists on sitting there, listening to fucking music, typing, with his mic wide open and no fucking headphones on. So all it is on our end is just a fucking constant fucking thing. And every time you bring it up, you're the arsehole or whatever. But yet he never has the fucking consideration to once think about anybody else. That every time it's got to be brought up, but yet everybody else is a fucking arsehole for even saying it. So like fucking, it's some people can deal with it and some people can't. So if that makes me an ogre, as Bobby puts it, then I'm an ogre, I guess.
You know what it makes me do, right, when you do that?
Makes you laugh.
That's right. It makes me laugh.
But the bottom line is if the person we're talking about has a problem with being accepted within groups, okay? So rather than being a fucking, pissy little dick about it, take some fucking advice because, I'm not the only person that complains about it. I've talked to other people that feel the same way.
And in Joe's defense, I break his balls, and it didn't bother me what he was doing. Not a bit. I didn't even notice it really, barely. But in his defense, he's, I don't know if he does it on purpose or not, but he did. Joe would have flipped out on him anyway, because even if Joe ignored the fact that the keyboard thing, he started playing music, which he knows that's another one of his things. Joe doesn't want to sit there, which is understandable, on a Skype conversation and listen to somebody play music. And he started to do that. And that's when I let him go. I let him go because I was busy. I didn't really let him go to the music, but I got to be honest, I probably wouldn't have listened to that for much longer anyway. But he did kept going, oh, sorry, and turning off the shit or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Whatever.
I don't know. But it is what it is, It
is what it is.
It's your right. It's your right to not want to have to put up with that, and it's his right to do it with people who do. But like you said, he's got to understand that's probably why a lot of people don't talk to him.
That's right, and I get that a lot of people don't talk to me because I get angry and yell at them.
Right.
I get that.
Right. You're not oblivious to that. You understand that.
Oh, yeah. I acknowledge it.
And I'm dead to the point where I'm not going to waste my energy trying to get everybody to like anybody. That's not my job. It's not my concern. I will just have to, when people talk to me and you don't get along with them or they don't get along with you, I'll just have to let one of you go if I want to talk to them. Or I have to tell them I'll call them later.
So what Bobby's telling you is he'll apologize to you later for hanging up on you.
No, basically it's a first come, first serve. And you've got to
understand. It is not, Bobby.
It is.
It is not.
You've got to understand that, and so do they.
No.
If I'm talking to you,
and you might as well fight about it right now.
All right, because if I'm talking to you, and I've talked, say if I just got on the phone with you, here's my etiquette. If I just got on the phone with you, and I've only been talking to you for 5-10 minutes, and somebody calls me, I'm going to message them. If it's somebody that you can't be on the phone with, I can't add them to the call, I'm going to say, look, I'm on Skype with a friend or Joe or whatever. I'll hit you up when I get off. Or if I've been on the phone with you for over an hour, then I'm going to say, all right, well, let me call you back, Joe. I'll talk to them. That's how it'll be. You know what I mean? Hello?
Oh.
You don't like that?
Okay. I don't like what I'm hearing here.
Why? Like, what? I don't understand what's wrong with that. You got to understand. I can't. I'm not gonna that's the thing. It's fine that people you don't get along with other people. That's fine. I've dealt with that my whole life. I have a lot of friends that they hate each other. But if you guys don't want to be in the same room with each other, then you're going to have to learn to share in other ways. If you can't share me altogether, you're going to have to share me in other ways. Granted, you're my number one priority. You're my bestest friend on Spreaker. on the internet. So,
I don't care who you go hang out with, Bobby.
okay, well, don't go, well, I don't like that very much.
I
You're the one that
wasn't
said
really
it.
paying attention to you. I was reading something.
Oh.
I don't care who you hang out with and who you do shows with and stuff.
I'm just saying.
Like, doing shows isn't a big priority of mine. I
I'm
don't
not
really
talking
do
about
shows
just,
anymore.
I'm not talking about just shows. I'm talking about Skype
So,
conversations in general.
As far as Skype goes, well, I've got other Skype friends. I just like to talk to you because we get along.
I realize that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's not just for you, it's for them too. Everybody needs to understand if they can't get along with each other and they can't share me, they're going to have to share me in other ways. You know, I talk to you every day. So, you know, if somebody calls me up that I haven't talked to in 2 days, I might have to let you go.
Oh, I don't know about that.
We'll work that out when we cross that bridge. That's all I'm saying. You know, I don't make a big deal out of it because the person you're talking about, I talk to him probably once a week. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna. It's not really a big thing on. You know what I mean? The only person I really talk to every day besides you on the internet is that's not my family, is Jen, and I don't really talk to her on the phone because that's you.
Okay.
You think that
So
you
we're all
think,
done talking about the Wubbas. I'm bored with that now.
you think the sound quality's bad on the guy we were talking about? You try to have a conversation at Jen's house.
Oh yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal.
Oh my god.
Duck told me he used to do music shows, and Jen would listen, and he would purposely try to make them sound as bad as he could. Remember when he was on that kick?
Yeah.
And he had always asked Jen how it sounded. No matter how bad he made it sound, she'd always say it sounded good. Because she just never wants to tell nobody anything bad. And
We can get to the news now if you're done.
here's the thing. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about this succession thing.
Okay. Do you like the ambiance in the background and the bear sound I have in case we talk about something to do with the woods?
Here's the thing.
Bear in the background. It's my old lady snoring.
This is about the succession.
Okay.
I understand that they have 5,000 signatures on a piece of paper. Okay? That's fine in a state. You get 5,000 names saying South Carolina want to leave or whatever. If there's 5 million people in the state, right? So 5,000 times 10 is 50,000. So it's not 10% of the population. 5,000 times 100 is only 500,000. So that's not even all the population. You would have to multiply it by 1,000 to make 5 million. So like it's the 1,000th of the population.
What are you battling about?
About if there's 5 million people that live in your state.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's a petition going around for your state to succeed from the union.
Okay, so that why
And
did
there's
you say,
5,000 signatures on the petition,
Uh-huh.
right? And if you multiply 5,000 by 10, that's 50,000. So that's not even 10% of the population. So, okay, look at it again. You multiply it by 100. That's everybody in the state if they signed it. Or, you know what I mean? Like,